Oh, get upstairs.
All right, welcome back to the Moment to Experience Radio Show. We are here live here on StreamYard, our page, with our guest. She is a poet and an author. She performed at Artist Cafe 36 not too long, about a month ago. So she came here to share a story, share her journey about how she became she is who she is today. So let's welcome Miss Indea Hoffman. How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing good. I said your name right?
India.
Indea. Okay, okay.
You got it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So how was your week?
It was long, but this is my birthday week, so I'm excited. Praise
Oh,
God.
yes. Happy birthday. Which
Thank you.
did you do anything exciting for your birthday?
I worked, but today I'm going to celebrate. Let my hair down, literally.
Yeah, it's always good to celebrate your birthday, celebrate yourself, daily, because you never know, because things happen, in your past year, to get to this point, it's a blessing, get to this point, make it to that birthday. So,
Amen.
never take that for granted,
Right.
ever. So, before we get to like who you are now, can you tell us who was Indea when she was growing as a young girl?
I would say in my adolescent years, I was very vibrant, affable, um, a go-getter as I am now. Extremely active, very athletic. I was a cheerleader. I ran track. I played basketball. Played the clarinet. So I had a really healthy childhood. I had a great mom. My mother was like she was my ride or die. My mom, she was basically my best friend. So poetry to me as a child, it started by me expressing my feelings. I really didn't know it was poetry until my mother told me what it was. As a child, she would take me to the main branch library in Center City.
Okay.
On weekends, we would have fun, go into the library, reading books. So I was infatuated with books and libraries and, just looking at the plethora of genre of books that I can read and change the ending to it if I didn't like it. So me as a childhood, very happy little girl, very busy, asked a lot of questions. Yes.
Mm.
Asked a lot of questions. So yeah, I had a well-rounded childhood, I would say.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So were you a type of person I know you obviously you love reading. That
Yeah.
also did you also like math or didn't like math?
Um, I liked school. So like school for me was really
Right,
easy.
okay.
Yeah, I love school. I think as a child, my personality changed because children, they don't care what they say out their mouths.
That's true.
So yeah, I was very vocal. Very vocal.
Yeah, very vocal. So now you go and you love poetry, you love reading and going
Yeah.
to the library growing up. So let's go talk about your college years. What college you went to and why did you go to that college?
Yeah, so I attended the first HBCU, CU, Cheney University, 1837. Yes. So my college years were amazing. I have some of the best experiences I've ever had in college. Um, I was the president for the Fine Arts Honor Society. I'm actually a member for the National Fine Arts Honor Society. Whoop, whoop. Um, I was in radio. I did a lot. I was really, really busy. Like I was a busy lady on campus. I was
Right.
in everything. If it was scholastic, I was into it. I was a part of a Christian ministry called Chosen Generation for Christ. That was amazing. We would go around praying for the students and having, programs, church services on campus. So my college years were amazing. Yes, I met some pretty dope people.
Was there a particular reason why you went to Cheney, or there was
I
just
mean, of course, it's the first HBCU. I mean, no shade to Lincoln, but no shade to Lincoln, but yeah, we're first.
Right, because I went to Westchester University, so we was like,
Yes,
there we was like kind of like the other school. So
I worked at Westchester. I actually worked at Westchester.
At where?
And Lawrence Dining Hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a supervisor for Airmark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I had my classes, and then after school, I would go to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So when did you attend Cheney? Because I might have saw you.
So I graduated in 2011.
Oh, I was been gone that day. I was gone right then. I was gone by then. Okay. Yeah, so you went to Cheney because you're the first HBCU.
Yeah.
Now to adulthood. So what was your journey into young adulthood after you graduated from Cheney?
Okay. So after adulthood, I noticed that a lot of the intellectual developmental disabled community, they didn't have a lot of creative art opportunities. So I focused my energies into helping that community, which I do today.
Right.
I'm a program supervisor, and I have the opportunity to offer fun stuff, and they like it. So it's a plus.
Okay. All right. So now you're doing that now. So now, what was the shift or moment that led you to decide, hey, I want to pursue this poetry thing, pursue about like your purpose of poetry, and then also which led to your first book?
I would say not having any peace about sitting on my gift. Like God literally, with my spirit became very vexed, and everybody has different gifts, like there's enough room for everyone to be successful in the same field of poetry. You know what I mean? So like everyone can be successful, everyone can eat, etc. But I noticed how my talent was bigger than me. It was almost as if you don't use this talent, then someone else is going to use it, and then you're going to disappoint God, because God gives us gifts so that we can be a blessing to others. Our gifts does not belong to us. I'm a firm believer in that. And so I had the light bulb go off, because I've written thousands of poems, to be honest with you.
Right.
And although every day when people visit, my site on IG, let's say 3 days out of the week, I write a poem literally every day. And certain poems I never want to share to the world, because those poems are just for me and God, if that makes any sense.
Right, exactly. Right.
The poetry that I write is extremely vulnerable. I don't necessarily like sharing them, but I know I'm helping someone. No matter how great they sound, the goal is I did my job. I don't have no blood on my hands. Praise God, I helped save a soul or lead somebody to Christ. No matter how dysfunctional the poem may come across, I had good intentions when I wrote it and when I delivered the message. So, like, one thing about me, my mom was very, very, very blunt. You had to have thick skin being around my mother. Our personalities were like night and day, but she said what she said, like, period. And if you didn't like that, then you had to grow extra thick skin.
That's right.
All that to say, I had made now mind you, I was a teenager when I made a comment, and she called me a hypocrite. And I was like,
you still there?
Yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Until you put your 9.5 feet in a size 5, right? And we know that math, 9 cannot go in a 5, right? Need to hold back on your perception on how you think about things and what you say, because guess what? walk in that person's shoes and vice versa. We know that 5 can go in a 9, but either way, the walk is going to be uncomfortable.
That's right.
Just because you may say, oh yeah, 5 can go in a 9, we understand that, right? Because math doesn't lie, but the walk is still not going to be easy. It's still going to be uncomfortable. So when my mom said that, she convicted my spirit, and I became much more open-minded into how I look at the world, I treat people, I look at situations, and I think that that helped me become a better writer. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So you mentioned about um in your poems, you try to inspire people to be led to Christ and also being vulnerable.
Yes.
I think that's so important. Why is it so important for people who like to be vulnerable, especially in this age now, at 2022? Because a lot of times people are so prideful, or so they want to share, they want to
Right.
be getting to their world. So, why you feel it's so important for us to be more vulnerable? Because we both had the answer, the reasons why, but why would someone that's watching this video, that's a aspiring poet, aspiring writer, to be vulnerable?
Well, so I look at, there's two V's, right?
Right.
V equals V. Vulnerability equals victory to me. That's how I look
Okay.
at it. Um,
Okay.
so with, but also there's, so V equals V, but then the denominator needs to be D, right? Which means
Right.
the, right? Because we know that we can't be vulnerable with everything and everyone, because it'll be held against us with bad intention. We know that 100% we can always be vulnerable to God, to Christ,
Right.
right? So my poetry, I have written, like I said, over 1,000 poems, and they're so vulnerable. I haven't been led yet to share it to the world. Now, the poems
Mm.
that I have written, they're so deep, whatever you want to call them. It took a lot of guts for me to share those with the world, because it's the process of me writing them poems. They don't feel good. Again, I don't. I'm so, no matter how great they may sound, it's painful to write what I'm writing. I don't necessarily like it, to be honest with you. The process, it's a lot. Being asleep and being woken up out your sleep, and God is trying to get your attention, and you're like, I don't want to write that. He's like, yeah, you are. And I'm like, I don't want to. Well,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna write it.
Exactly.
I wrote it. I wrote it. Okay, it's done. It's done. Okay, so now I want you to, but I don't want to. But people, they're gonna look at me like I'm a weirdo, or it's not gonna be well received. And well, what you think you're gonna be looked at? What did I go through when I walked this earth for 33 years? So then I get even more humble, because it's like, okay, I have no room to talk. God gave me this message. I'm gonna go with it.
That's right. Yeah, like you said, you have responsibility, we have an obligation. That God
Yeah.
tell you to do something, you have
Yes.
to do it. So you said you went on 1,000 poems, a lot of them
Yes.
that you have not
Yes.
shared. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so what made you decide to write a book?
Mm. This book,
That coordinates to say that.
I know I decided to write a book because I was watching a show and epiphany went off, and no, I decided to write a book to help others,
Right.
to uh spark the dialogue of, I need to get over myself, because I know
Mm,
us as
right.
humans, we should be confident, but sometimes we have to like get over ourselves, meaning that your journey again is just not for you. Like the woman beater poem that I wrote, right?
Mm-hmm.
That poem I know is going to help women internationally. Domestic violence does not just affect the Black community; it affects the Asian, the Mexican, the Indian, white women. So that's a topic that's broad, is bigger than color. You know, the demographics of poor and rich. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy or not. You can still experience domestic violence in a relationship. And the outcome of that may not always be a positive one, you know? So that's one reason why I chose to write a book, because when women, just readers, audiences, period, when they read my book, I want them to say, you know what, I'm glad I stumbled upon this poem. Now I'm going to make a better decision on what my next move is. This is going to be my better move. It may not be the best move, but it's going to be a better move than where I'm at right now. So that's one reason why I chose to, write my book, to help people overall, to help people. It's very therapeutic, you know?
Right. It's like I did. There's a true saying that when people write, it is therapeutic.
It is.
Because you let it go, your thoughts, you put it in thoughts on paper, and
Right.
you let you release things that you may not release um that you felt otherwise, So I think writing is therapeutic, and to put it on paper, it's definitely a powerful thing. And I do, because I think so. Out of all those thousands of poems you have written in your life, what is the one poem that you probably remember that you wrote that helped you get through a tough time,
Hmm.
or that
I,
that
I, I
that kind
think
of inspires you to keep
essence,
going,
huh?
or that inspires you to keep going? That gets you a tough moment that keep going. Things like that.
Essence of Life is a really significant poem to me. Yeah, Essence of Life.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, Essence of Life. Okay. Do you remember that poem? Are you able to share that poem?
Sure. Right.
You,
Okay.
you were talking about that in your thing yesterday. I was like, "Won't you share?" And I like it.
All right, here we go. Only God can make it all right. Only He can make it all right. Only God can make it all right. Only He can make it all right. Essence of life. To be or not to be, life brings many questions and it's followed by many life lessons. It's essence nowadays. Sex, fame, money, popularity. Nowadays, all intentions seem to be the same. Glamour, guys, girls, so platinum veins and pearls, big breasts and butts, fat cars and big bucks. I stop there, you know the rest. What happened to good schooling, good grades, loving friends nowadays? All I see is negative talk and violence, evil is walking. No one saying I apologize or I'm sorry and let's work things out. But nowadays, all I see is I got mine, hope you got yourself. But you tell me who's one of them days. Is this the essence of life? Young ladies carry your knives to school because they sick and tired of looking like fools. And Austin High is do or die because I'm gangster. Entertainment is amusing, lyrics are music, but spitting or killing starts confusing. And the brother's not popular because his clothes not polo or jabot. Does this make him less of a man? So comment on days Bible person is this life because they are different in many ways. Lord, why do my people seem like crabs in the bed, but the skies as human beings? God, death, lies, and animosity fills the air, and tears are so cried by someone who does not know that there is a positive essence in life. Girlfriends, girlfriends, we got the same thing. So why you turning jealousy? I mean, well, backset that we often hate, which we often fear. Hypocrites arrayed as Christians, Muslims as the strongest, Buddhists as the humblest. Is this the essence of life? Brother, if you love me, you'll wait. And after 12 dates, I'm not giving up nothing. You learn from your mistakes. My grandma once said, a lesson learned is one given. If you be true to you, you will find that there is a positive essence in life, which is Yeshua Christ. Only He can make it all right. Only God can make it all right. Only He can make it all right. Only He can make it all right. Essence of life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wow, essence of life. I love that poem. That only God can make it all right. That's so true. Only God can make it all right, and God can make it better. And God can turn. Only God can turn our lives around. If we listen to follow God's word and trust in Him, God, He will make it all right. What we go through is temporary. It's not permanent. Not gonna last forever. But God can make it all right. God will see us through. He will bring us out. So a couple more questions for you. What is next? What is next for you?
So, yes, I'm glad you said that. So I would love to start going on tour, and even locally, So yes, I work a lot, got things to do, but the goal is to spread more of my poetry, local and internationally, and just experience the vibes. Now, my book that I've written, So Searching a Poetic John, I will be doing drop offs next month.
So what's a drop off? What's a drop
So,
off? What does that
okay, so
mean?
for example, when I had my event in September,
Okay.
everyone who was at the event, their ticket was basically the receipt for the book. That was actually their purchase for the book.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. Okay. Okay. That's one. That sounds awesome. 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 So you like you say you do a lot. You do a lot. You work a lot hard. So you're a writer. You try and do elevate yourself. What does Indea do for self care?
Ooh, yes. You don't have to ask me twice. So, oh my gosh. Okay. I love to have fun. I love to laugh. Um, I love to shop. I mean, I'm a girl, so I love to exercise. I love to be around serene environments. I love nature. Um, I love a good meal. I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I love I love massages. I mean, I'm pretty dope. So, my own presence, like I don't mind spending time with myself. A lot of people, they have an issue with spending time by themselves. And I find that to be like problematic. But yes, I enjoy my own company. And I do have some girlfriends that, we have fun together, but I appreciate, treating myself. I don't have no problem with that.
Right. So, so you say you love to cook. What's your favorite thing to cook?
So I love salad. I do.
Okay.
I eat pretty well. I'm really picky. I'm very, very, very picky. I don't eat everything.
Right. Right.
Love cranberries, pineapple, arugula, um, some Brussels sprouts. I can eat a salad every day. When I was in college, I remixed salads like many, many different ways. So if I can have a really good salad, I'm good. But I like salmon.
Okay.
Yes, I'm really big on salmon. Um, and I make a really good mac and cheese.
Mm.
Yeah, I make a
Okay.
good mac and cheese. And a really good banana pudding. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So my favorite one of my favorite meals is all time is homemade mac and cheese. So
Woo! Man,
so
that's poetry to my ears. Yes.
so and also I just came this idea in my head just now as you was talking about going on tour. Speaking more, have you thought about going back to Cheney and sharing your book and poem?
I'm trying to dominate the listen. I got you. I got you. I that's the game plan. Cheney is a wonderful school, and I know they have some awesome writers on campus,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure the community of writers, like, we could come together and do some dope stuff, for poetry lovers.
Yeah, definitely agree. That could be a big thing, going back.
Yeah.
the alma mater that you graduate from, do a
Mm,
little event there,
yes,
sell
yes,
your book there, just to just get back, get
yeah,
back to cheating,
yeah,
and
yeah,
HBCUs,
yeah,
I think that's so important. So,
right.
what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh my gosh. So I know sometimes I could be really like um hmm to my younger self, I would say don't do that. I would just simply don't no. Don't yeah. My younger self, I would say don't do that. I would just say don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know a lot of times when we're young, we go through peer pressure.
Right,
And that's something that's a topic that's really not talked about. And even though I was my own person, um I would just simply tell myself not to do not do that. Like just do not do that. You know, if you do that, that's going to have a domino effect. And dear, don't do that. You're good. Nope. Period.
yeah, that's a good. That's a good one. Don't do that because the peer pressure is a lot, especially as adolescents. Going teenagers, you get peer pressure a lot.
Right.
So, a
Right.
lot of times you gotta say don't do it and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because it will benefit you in the long run. And not um, you avoid certain things and don't do it. So
Right.
don't cave into peer pressure.
Right.
That's so important. So where people can find you about get know you more and also more about your book and where people get your book. And also, do you have a YouTube channel of you showcasing your poems or no?
So I'm on YouTube. I've entered some competitions
Okay.
with like several poets from like Paris, Germany, and even from the States. So I am on YouTube, but my own page on YouTube. That's just confirmation that I need to do that. But you can find me on IG at INDEA. Last name is Hoffman, HOFFMAN. And my first book is entitled Soul Searching a Poetic John because I'm born and raised in North Philly. Boom.
Yeah. Where people can get your book? Is it on Amazon?
So once I do my drop offs, people will be able to purchase my book on Amazon.
Okay.
And also, if folks are interested, you guys can slide in my DMs. Let me know how many books you're interested in purchasing. I'm doing book pre-orders as well.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, got you. Okay. Like you say, like I said, I'll definitely load the poem. I definitely hope you get your YouTube channel together because a lot of people need to see you and hear your vulnerability and your presence that you have with words and how it flows and things like that. So I think that's so important because a lot of people need to know you more because you are doing it and your words have power and your way articulate those words is so significant, especially to our generation and the people coming behind you. Because in the day, we to those who wants to be poets, who are aspiring poets, they need, they had to be vulnerable and be comfortable being vulnerable, and I think that's so important, especially that in the day we are human. We're not Superman. We're not Batman. We're human beings. We all go through things and try tribulations to make us who we are today.
Yeah.
So So it's so important that you continue to do that. We continue to be who you are, continue to be great. We continue to uplift people and motivate women, men, all races and cultures. Because it's a time for us to come together.
Yes.
And just be together and just support one another and not hate on one another and not discount one another or doubt someone. Because all of us have gifts that God has bestowed upon us. It's our responsibility to use those gifts and use it His way, and not do it for people or for the world, but use it His way, and so we can spread it for the people that need it. To be blessed, to be uplifted, to be encouraged, to be motivated to go to the next level. So I believe that all of us should always need to go to the next level. That would be content. All of us have to grow. All of us had to evolve and and manifest to what God's called us to be. So as we close, can you give us one more poem that is one of your favorites? This is your choice, one of your favorites. What you go to, that you can cite, like that you love, that you.
Oh, well, I'll let you pick because I have a favorite. I know that sounds odd. Maybe one day, but I don't think.
Maybe I'll give you a key word then.
Okay.
A poem about happiness.
Happiness. I can do. Okay, so I do have some poems on happiness, of course I do, but I would probably want to share, and I don't mean to sound like a sourpuss. I will probably do Black genocide. Why? Because
Okay.
like what's going on with happened to take off.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
So I guess I'll center around that. I wrote a poem called Black Genocide.
Okay.
So a lot of times I think we are our worst enemies.
I agree.
The crab mentality within the Black community is very strong. So this poem is entitled Black Genocide.
All right.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Eyes, ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Black genocide. They tell us to stay dangerous. I tell them to kiss my anus. Stuck up middle fingers. What about when they used to hang us from trees while you smoke them? These dope dudes help the cause to the Hush genocide. Black genocide got more creeps on their side than left eye. Black genocide. Dope fiends and addicts got more popped out veins and acrobatics. I wonder if being Black in America is a bad habit that the world tries to kick, trying to stay high without the hits. Black genocide. Why can't I write about roses are red and violets are blue? Black genocide. But I'm writing about this. I wonder if America is going to hell with a handbasket. No need for a casket. I'm just asking. Sleeping Beauty in her sleep and they still shot her. Who shot you? What about the future of Brianna? Black genocide. What if heaven was 1 mile away? You had to walk through the hood to get to it. I wonder if all my blasted brothers who died in the streets ever got to it. Black genocide. The streets is still undefeated, but you think you gonna cheat it? Will you believe it once you're stretched out in them red bleeding? Black genocide. That's
wow. I was on the pause. That's why I maybe just paused for a second. I was like, wow, that was awesome. Black genocide. Like I said, for those out there, check out her Instagram. Indea Hoffman. Just type in there, it'll pop up. Check out her work. Check out her book. For those who purchase a book, ticket for her event that you be doing a drop in next month for a book. So it was an honor to have you on my show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you so much. Hope we connect again. Maybe be another guest on my show. So just to update, see what you've been doing. So you are doing awesome work, and you do have a definite gift. I want you to continue to use that gift. Just use it to help inspire people, just to motivate people, get people to to think differently. So thank you for your story, thank you for your journey. And God's definitely blessing you and using you. So
praise God.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.